Remember in 2023 when Sami Zayn took on Roman Reigns?
Yeah, I do. You know, Sami Zayn was the reason why I came back to wrestling. It was the Bloodline.
Remember all those TikTok clips you see of Sami Zayn, having all these great moments of Bloodline?
Yeah.
That was probably one of the best storylines in it for a reason, right? One of the reasons I remember it for was because these guys had two different paths. You had Roman Reigns, who in NXT didn't have any hype. He was just one of the big guys, the big dog.
The big dog.
Showed up with the Shield, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. And those guys were the guys with hype, right?
Yeah.
Immediately, he's noticeable. You notice he's a big dude. This group comes out and just makes some noise right away. He gets labeled as the future megastar. Not immediately, maybe not immediately, but in a few months of him being on the main roster, Roman Reigns becomes the next megastar. And then the fans label him as that too.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon obviously labels him as well.
That Royal Rumble 2013?
Yeah. 2013 Survivor Series as well.
Yes.
Then Vince kind of took over and kind of tried to make him into a monster, and the fans started to reject him. And then Sami Zayn, on the other hand, had kind of completely different story. NXT, he was like the heart and soul of NXT. He had the whole pursuit of the NXT title. He took on Neville, and he beat Neville. He kept losing before that, and then finally beats Neville at the end. Has a huge celebration. You know how Cody Rhodes had a huge celebration at WrestleMania 40? That's what they had for Sami Zayn. They had Charlotte Flair come out there, Bayley. All these names are future Hall of Famers now.
Yes.
But all of them were out there. Kevin Owens showed up. Kevin Owens and him started hugging. And then Kevin Owens stabs in the back. Classic. First time in his history in NXT or WWE with Sami Zayn stabbing him in the back.
Yeah.
And then he powerbombed him on the ring.
Oh,
side of the ring.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
That's one of the first moments. I think that was Kevin Owens' debut into the WWE, first time showing up. They had a match. Kevin Owens pretty much ended up beating his ass. TKO, total Kevin Owens. I just made that up. That's probably something the WWE would have said. Sami Zayn had his last match was against Shinsuke Nakamura. To me, that's probably the best match Shinsuke Nakamura ever had.
In WWE?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the match. Maybe you're not gonna go.
You gotta watch it. It's a quality match. But at that time, the WWE was still looking for a future star, right? Roman Reigns was obviously labeled as the guy, but for people like me, a lot of other guys, we were looking at NXT as who could it be, or Seth Rollins is the guy who we liked a lot. People who were talented in ring and also could do a lot of other things. But Sami Zayn to me was one of those guys I just became a fan of. Kind of like Mick Foley with a lot of people. His NXT run was just one of those guys. Hey, this guy could wrestle in the ring. He's naturally easy to cheer for.
Yeah.
And then he shows up at the main roster. His debut matches against John Cena, United States Open Challenge in Montreal with Bret Hart announcing him.
God damn it.
Just can't get better.
Can't get better.
Can't get better than that. Because then he shows up and he immediately throws out his shoulder. I think he's out for 7 months after the match. Even though the match was great. He kind of was out for a while and he came back, and him and Kevin Owens had a few matches here and there. And I think he was written off in a way where Kevin Owens attacked him, and then Sami Zayn was gone for months, and he came back at the Rumble, eliminated Kevin Owens from the Rumble, and then he kind of got lost in limbo for a bit, right? He was in number one contender matches, challenging for I think maybe the Intercontinental title, Money in the Bank matches, all these weird things. Nothing really stuck for him for the longest time, and then eventually Kevin Owens was on SmackDown, and he was in the storyline with Shane McMahon.
Yeah.
Where Shane McMahon was the guy who was kind of coming in Kevin Owens' way, and I think he headbutted Vince McMahon at one point. He just kept going after the whole family, and Sami Zayn, during a match where Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon, Sami Zayn made the same on KO after Shane McMahon tried to jump off the top rope, elbow him through the table like a heartless boss. Some kind of savage.
Sami Zayn's a good friend, Even the Kevin Owens can't say the same thing, but Sami Zayn, great friend.
Sami Zayn one of the best friends you could ever have. I don't know how you can hate the guy.
Yeah.
To be honest. And then he helped him pretty much, and they kind of became a tag team for a while. And I feel like the WWE could have done so much more with these two in this storyline, but they legit just led to. I know Daniel Bryan came back. That was probably the peak of this whole thing. But Daniel Bryan had his first match against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, I think, at WrestleMania with Shane McMahon as his tag team partner.
Okay.
And
Shane McMahon just involving himself in everything. Eh?
Yeah, Daniel Bryan tapped him out. They won that match. Shane McMahon, I think. What happened is those two got fired from SmackDown after.
Okay.
Went to Raw, and then they're like, I heard TNA is hiring or something like that. And it didn't really go anywhere. I feel like that duo had such a big... There's a lot of hope there. Vince McMahon just couldn't figure out what to do with them.
I also remember them having that, when I was doing research for one of the games, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus AJ Styles for the WWE title. Yeah. I think it might have been 2018. And I was like, why are these guys in a handicap match for the WWE title? What are they going to do? Split the WWE title?
I think it was something like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the WWE title, and then if they lost, they were fired from SmackDown or something.
Oh, okay. It just didn't make no sense because if they won, what was it was okay, so now they both share the WWE title?
Yeah, it wouldn't have made sense at all because you knew they weren't going to win.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
That's the thing. That's what you pitch yourself into a corner. And I think the biggest thing with Vince McMahon around this time was if he had no idea what to do with you, he'll come up with some wacky idea and see if it sticks. And that's when conspiracy theory Sami Zayn comes from. 'Cause he was like a huge conspiracy theorist, and he would say all these things like, "You could have asked me a question about AEW," and that was like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
People were going nuts over it.
During this time, was he also managing Shinsuke Nakamura?
He was, right, in 2020, early 2020 he was. And then him, Shinsuke, and I think Cesaro wrestled Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental title 3-1, and whoever got the pin would become IC champ. That's how Sami Zayn won his first main roster title. Was in a 3-on-1 handicap match, and he had some help. And then he won his second one. I think it was like a triple threat ladder match, which apparently was good, but I didn't watch it because it was COVID. I wasn't going to watch it. Apparently it was supposed to be good. And Sami, he made it work, right? This was kind of a wacky character. Something I personally didn't like because, you know, I was huge on Sami Zayn already from the start. I expected him to be like not a serious wrestler, but like a babyface with an Intercontinental Championship run at some point, right? That's what I expected early on too.
It's like Mick Foley going to that Dude Love character.
Exactly. Right? And it was kind of like a goofy character, but it made it work because of Sami Zayn, and he did such a good job with it. And I think the peak of this whole thing was when he had the match with Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Because that match was good.
That was a fun match. Yeah, it was a fun match, yeah.
I remember when that match was announced, I was like, this is stupid. And then watching the match, I'm like, oh, this is a good match. Sami Zayn killed it.
The fact that they still keep it up, like that they hate each other is pretty good.
That's so good. It was a fun match. And I think that whole run kind of ended right before Vince left. I think Brock Lesnar and like Roman Reigns were starting their rivalry. And Brock Lesnar was trying to use Sami Zayn as like a, you know, kind of in the whole Roman thing, like, hey, help me out with him or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Sami ends up having a title match against Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar comes and attacks Sami Zayn. Roman Reigns spears him, wins it quickly. And then that kind of character was just getting... He was just around. He wasn't doing much other than the Knoxville match. He wasn't really doing much outside of being a conspiracy theorist. And then finally, Vince leaves. Actually, before Vince left, Sami lost to Knoxville, and he was kind of outcasted from the locker room. And he was considered this guy who... He was looking for a home. And Roman Reigns, he went to Roman Reigns. It's the first time they ever interacted on TV, on screen as these two characters, Tribal Chief and the conspiracy theorist. And he goes to Roman. He's like, hey... I could get you on my locker room leader. I get some information for you.
Yeah.
If I just need some help in this match. And then I don't think nothing happened after that.
Yeah.
Then Vince McMahon gets fired and Triple H takes over. We finally get some interaction between the two. We get Sami Zayn showing up to the Bloodline's locker room being like, hey, I can help you guys. Come on, let me meet the Tribal Chief. And Jay and Jimmy are like, you know what? Like, I don't know. Jay's like kind of standoffish, like, stay away. Jimmy's like, hey man, it's all good. You come in. And then eventually he finds a way in where he gets to talk to Roman Reigns, and he goes, this is a pretty funny video too. It's a pretty funny clip where Roman Reigns is sitting in the chair and Sami Zayn's like to him, you know, Jay, he just doesn't appreciate things. Like, I helped him out last week and he doesn't appreciate things. And Roman's like, you're right. Jay doesn't appreciate anything. So I'm like, I am, right? I'm right. It's so funny. And it's like, yo, these guys clicked right away. They nailed any chemistry. All the chemistry they have right there was like, these two just need to be on TV for the next whatever months. And that's exactly what happened. He saves Roman from Drew McIntyre. Roman's like appreciative of that. He loves him for it. Makes him an honorary Uce.
Yeah.
That was a great segment. We had so many good segments during this time. He's not feeling Uzi.
Yeah, he's not feeling Uzi. To Logan Paul, you know, your twos were the ones.
Yeah. And then a bunch of other, even like the popcorn segment backstage where Sami's eating popcorn, and then they cut to the match, and they cut back and how Roman and Paul even are eating popcorn, and it's just like, what the hell? It's just so funny.
He's trying to share the popcorn with Roman. He already has some bucket.
He's like, I got some. And then he's even that one story with like all these backstage segments with the Bloodline too, like the my dog.
Yeah.
And him just breaking the Bloodline was so good too, like solo breaking, Jey Uso breaking multiple times when he's supposed to be serious.
Even like Solo and Jimmy picking Sami over Jay in occasions like that was great.
Yeah, there's so many good moments too, and I think the storyline starts to really like pick up in a serious way at Survivor Series when Kevin Owens joins the other team with Drew McIntyre and the Brawling Brutes versus the Bloodline.
Yes,
and Roman's like, let's see if how loyal you are, and Jey Uso doesn't believe it, but Jimmy does, and then they have the match. Kevin Owens gets a pin on Roman, I think, and the ref's about to count to 3. Sami breaks the pin up, grabs the ref's hand, and then he ends up low blowing Kevin Owens. I think Haluva kicks him.
Yeah, Haluva kicks him.
And then they win. Yeah. And then Jay's like appreciates him. And Roman's kind of looking at him like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, does he still mess with Kevin Owens? Kevin Owens is a problem for the Bloodline. Yeah. And I think the next whole month, they have this whole thing where Roman's like, Kevin Owens is a problem for us. We need to get rid of Kevin Owens. And they end up having a tag team match. John Cena, Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn to end off the year.
Yeah.
Because John Cena shows up and says, I haven't had a match all year. This is the first time in 20 years I haven't had a match in a year. And he ends up teaming up with him. Sami eats the pin, loses. They come out the next week. Roman's like, we lost. Well, I didn't lose. he lost. And he starts pointing a finger at Sami Zayn. And then he starts ripping into Sami Zayn after. Like, it's your fault. And Sami Zayn's like, what the hell? He's like, am I a joke to you? Sami Zayn looks like a little scared puppy. Yeah. That's probably the best thing about Sami Zayn during this whole Bloodline run.
He just shows acting ability.
Yeah, he looks like a puppy the whole time. Like a dog. Yeah. You feel bad for him when he's getting yelled at. You see him being all happy. Like, let's go. He's happy.
Around this time, he got put on trial, right? By the tribal
Exactly.
chief.
That's the next thing. Trial of Sami Zayn on Raw's 30, I think.
Yes.
Paul Heyman, classic Paul Heyman, tries to screw him over. He had this whole plan. He's like, hey, this guy's, you can't trust him. He's shady. And then right then Roman goes, Solo! And Jey Uso makes a save.
Yeah. I was shocked when Jey Uso made the save. I was like, oh, Jay's got his back. All people, Jey hated this guy.
Yeah. He said, I love you, bro. You're news. I love you.
If you're not going to defend yourself, I'll defend you.
Exactly. And then Roman Reigns comes up with the plan. He still doesn't trust Sami Zayn. Roman tells him, you're going to be in my corner at the match. Just you, nobody else, versus Kevin Owens. The match happens and Roman beats the shit out of Kevin Owens. Pretty much brutalizes the whole match. Match ends. Roman wins. Sam's like, oh, yeah, we won. He's all happy. But Roman's like, we're not done yet. Everybody starts beating down Kevin Owens. Probably one of the biggest moments of that time was when they got the steel chair, started beating Kevin Owens, and Roman hands Sami Zayn the chair.
Yeah.
He says, take your shot. Sami goes, hits Roman instead, and then Jimmy can't believe it. Attacks him.
It's great symbolism they always show with the chair. You know, Roman always turning his back and just getting smoked with that chair every single time.
Every time it happens, it's just so good.
Yeah,
every time. And now we finally got to the match because Roman Reigns cuts a promo on Sami. He says, I got you to the top and this is what you do to me, type of thing. And Sami Zayn attacks him. He announces he's going after the title. And we finally get this Elimination Chamber match between Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. But the whole time leading up to this match, the one thing that they keep talking about is where's Jey? Because if you remember, Jey left that night. He didn't attack Sami. He walked out and nobody saw him on TV. Nobody could find him. Nobody could contact him. They had no idea where he was. And Roman is like, where's Jey? I don't know where Jey is. They're asking me, where's Jey? I don't know where Jey is because of you. And then we get to Montreal. The hottest crowd I feel like we had in a long time at that point. But the crowds are hot at that point. But when Montreal crowds get hot, they get hot. They're loud as hell. The crowd was so hot that night. Sami Zayn comes out, cuts a promo on how he's going to beat Roman Reigns. The next night, Roman Reigns enters first. Sami Zayn enters second, and it's even louder than the night before. It's like a big moment. Everybody thinks they're going to win a championship. Montreal hasn't won a Stanley Cup since 1993.
Yeah, since I was born.
They're supposed to win championships out there.
Yeah.
And they haven't won one in a long time. This might be their chance to get championship gold for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
Now this match.
It was a good match. It was a great match, actually.
The crowd, I think what made this match work so well is that the Roman usually takes his time to get going in matches. Like he lets the crowd do the thing, and then he builds it up. And like Sami being the underdog in the story, kind of going into this match, Roman Reigns is like the greatest of all time.
Yes.
Right? That's what he's seen. Like, you can't really beat him when your name is Sami Zayn and you haven't really done much outside of being conspiracy theorist, been an underdog your whole career. So this match was like one of those book like that, right? Yeah. But the crowd's so hot, Sami uses that momentum to take Roman down. He gets his moves in. He jumps over. Was he do a suicide dive over the top rope?
Yeah.
And then, he does like a top rope move, but then Roman stops him. And now Roman slows the match down again. And now he slows the match down even more by taking Sami Zayn outside, beating him in front of the fans, in front of his wife. He's like, I wanted better for him. And his wife was like, he just wanted to be friends with you guys. And you didn't let him. She does such a good job, too. She keeps saying, you guys screwed him over. And he's like, no, I wanted more for him. And they're just talking the whole time. And Sami eventually gets, his own offenses. I think Roman tries to go for a top rope suplex.
Yeah.
And Sami reverses into a sunset flip. Powerbomb goes for a pin, messes up. And then they have like a reversal fest where Roman Reigns goes for a Superman punch. Sami reverses into Exploder into the corner. He goes for a haluva, which Roman Reigns reverses into a Superman punch. And then he goes for a spear. Roman goes for a spear, and he gets rolled up. Yeah. You have this whole sequence back and forth. The crowd's hot. Everybody's going nuts. And then Roman gets up. Sami throws him into the rope. Another Exploder. And then into the corner. Yeah. Another Exploder. Into a Superman punch and a haluva kick. You'll see the sequences on screen. It was insane. The way they pulled up. Bang, bang, bang. And he went for a pin. Roman kicks out. Master of the 2.99 kick out.
Yeah, he is. He's so good at that. He just waits like last second. And he's great at selling too. Like to the point where it's like you think he's dead. Like I remember when he last year when he got hit with that GTS by CM Punk, he acted like he got murdered in that shot. Even against Sami Zayn, like whenever someone used to hit him, it used to be like it meant something because Roman would be out cold and he'd be done.
Yeah, that's what makes Roman so good when he has somebody who's a solid in-ring performer and then he could just sell their moves because he's so good at selling. But then finally they go outside, right? And one of the things that made me a big Sami Zayn fan was this one move. Through the middle of the bottom two ropes, DDT a person, spinning DDT the person. It was one of my favorite moves. He hasn't done that. Obviously he can't do it anymore. He's a little older, so it's not easy to do. He goes for it in this match, Roman Reigns hits him right before he jumps to I think he goes to the middle of the rope.
And he
hits him halfway through. Yeah. I'm like, wow, it was such a good sequence, but it looked so cool. I thought he was going to go for it. I was about to go nuts. Being back in the ring, Sami hits a blue thunder bomb out of nowhere. Pin another 2.999.
Blue Thunder Bomb's never gonna win anything.
Never gonna win. And then Sami goes for another one. This time Roman goes and kind of gives him like a headlock, and Sam pushes Sami into the corner where the ref's standing. Ref bump number 1 happens. The ref gets destroyed too.
Yeah,
they're bumping him over and over again. Ref's going, he was making some weird ass sound effects. It was crazy. I couldn't believe what I was listening to. And then Roman runs to the turnbuckle. He lets go of Sami Zayn, runs to the turnbuckle, gets hit with a luva kick out of nowhere. That spot's one. I like that spot a lot too now, where it hits
out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then he goes to a pin. Crowd counts. Refs down. Obviously, Sami doesn't win.
Yeah.
Now the refs down. Sami doesn't get the pin. Shenanigans start. Jimmy Uso shows up. Hits him with like 3 or 4 super kicks.
The only Uso way, right?
Yeah, Uso way. The one move they love doing more than anybody else. Goes for an Uso splash from the top rope. Tries to get Roman to pin. Second ref finally shows up. Sami kicks out of this again. Now that we got a healthy ref. We got a ref 100%. This guy's ready to go. This match is going to keep going on. And the ref falls again. Ref gets dumped out of the ring. Sami goes back, hits Roman Reigns with a Superman punch. Roman Reigns hits him again. And everybody's like, what the hell happened? Roman sees the refs down. Paul Heyman's like, that's 2 refs. 2 refs are down now.
Yeah.
Second ref's out. First ref's out. Second ref's out. And Roman's like, grab a chair. So Paul Heyman, doing his thing. He goes and grabs a chair. He pulls it into the ring. Roman Reigns turns around. There's Jey Uso standing there, and everybody's going nuts. Jey Uso hasn't been on TV in almost a month, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Roman looks at him. He offers him the chair. Jey Uso grabs the chair. He's like, hit Sami. So Roman starts walking over to Sami, starts talking shit to Sami. And it looks like for a second that Jey Uso is about to hit Roman with the steel chair. But Jey Uso doesn't. Roman Reigns turns around and is like, what, you're not going to hit him? Grabs the chair to his hand, starts slapping him. Starts like pretty much, it's like face palming his face.
Face palming him, yeah.
And the crowd goes nuts. They think something's going to happen now. And right that 2 seconds later, Sami Zayn gets up, goes for a spear. Roman hits Jey Uso instead. And everything's bad here because Roman Reigns grabs a steel chair, just starts smashing Sami Zayn with it, just like Austin over The Rock. He's just destroying him with a steel chair, hits him with the spear, ends the match. Crowd goes dead quiet. It's like the Montreal Screwjob all over again. Crowd can't believe Jey Uso. Crowd can't believe what they saw. It was a sad night, but the WWE still finds a way to bounce back because Jimmy Uso attacks Sami Zayn then, and Kevin Owens' music hit. Kevin Owens comes out, attacks him and Roman, hits him with stunners, gives Jimmy a powerbomb through the table.
Oh, yeah.
On the outside. Yeah. Then he goes back into the ring and he's about to hit Roman. But Roman gets up in the corner. Sami hits him with a hula kick. They end the show like that. This whole storyline did such a good job of reviving Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And that was like probably the best part of Triple H's early runs as a booker. Because all these wrestlers who we as fans wanted to go over in NXT, they kind of were just like... They had nothing to do for the longest time. And Triple H kind of revived a lot of these guys' careers. Like even Bayley was coming back into the fold. Kevin Owens was like legit for a long time under Vince. He was getting booked pretty well.
Yeah.
But I think he got better when Triple H came into control. Sami Zayn was probably one of the main benefiters of Triple H's what are been benefactors.
Finn Balor
now
until Vince had him lose against Edge.
Yeah. Rhea Ripley is one of the other people.
Yes, yeah.
Rhea Ripley was for sure like, she joined Judgment Day. But Vince couldn't figure it out either until like Triple H kind of gave her like this way to shine and make her like the star of the Judgment Day.
Yes.
Instead of like the other people being stars, she became a star through Judgment Day. And Triple H did a good job with all these wrestlers who kind of got lost in the shuffle. This whole thing, Sami Zayn benefits so much because after this, everybody was talking about how Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes were 2 of the hottest baby faces in the company.
Yes.
And Cody Rhodes ends up beating Roman Reigns. Going to WrestleMania to wrestle Roman Reigns. Well, Sami Zayn ends up main eventing night 1, which was a quality one of the best tag team matches I've ever seen, right? They ended up wrapping up the whole story with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens defending their title against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa.
Yes.
In Night of Champions, where the Usos, Big Jim, super kicked Roman twice. And ended the Bloodline.
The story was perfect. Sami Zayn got into the Bloodline. They didn't trust him, right? They saw him as an outlier. They bring him into the family, and then everything just ends up being ruined. Yeah. And then you could say like Roman could always blame Sami for his family falling apart.
Yeah.
Because the minute he brought him in, it just everybody else fell off the line. Jay did his own, started doing his own thing.
Everybody stopped listening to him pretty much. I think this also what it did was it gave Sami like a way to shine and be like, hey, this is like a fun wrestler. It's a fun superstar wrestler to watch.
Yes.
Because he was like kind of lost with the conspiracy theory. Now he's got this like fun babyface gimmick persona, I guess, or
Yeah.
just being himself, I guess. It was quality. A great time in 2023. It's been 3 years.
Yes, it has.
It's been a long time.
You know, we're still waiting for the Sami Zayn championship.
Some of us are, some of us aren't. Some of you haters all of a sudden.
All of a sudden think he's Hulk Hogan.
Fickle. Daniel Bryan was right.
They're fickle. They cheer him 1 minute, they don't care the next.
Fickle. Well, that does it for this video. Let us know what you think about Sami Zayn and the storyline against Roman Reigns, with Roman Reigns. And we'll see you in the next one. Like, subscribe. Peace.